Alright, here we are again, everyone. Episode number 9 of What I Got This Week. So, of course, we begin by saying, welcome back! So, this has been a very good week. An amazing week, actually. We have not only a top 5 comics of the week, we have the toy review, we have custom comic review, and we have a special Captain Marvel segment. I was able to win tickets on K-Rock to Captain Marvel Rocks, this amazing event at Tower Records, which was held on Monday, March 4th. Q&A with the cast, amazing performances by Bush and L7, great 90s rock bands. It was a 90s themed party. I was able to see an advanced screening of the movie. I'll talk all about that later on in the episode. But first, let's begin right away with what we have, top 5 books of the week. This week, there was a lot of good books I couldn't pick, and so I hate to do this, and once in a while I do it, I have to throw in an honorable mention. Honorable mention for this week we have is Green Lantern number 5. Now, this one is, if you can see here, who do we have here as one of the writers? Morrison. Who's Morrison, you might ask? That's Grant Morrison, a legend in the comic book industry. Here we have Hal Jordan on a vampire planet, supposedly taking away his will and his hope, which is what the Lanterns need to continue and to have their powers. This is a great issue. Being number 5, it's also a good jump-in point if you haven't jumped in yet. Grant Morrison took over and has been doing great things with Hal Jordan. I love it. It's got his dry sense of humor, but he's able to get the American attitude of Hal. I love it. So that's my honorable mention. Had to throw it in there. All right, my number 5 for the week. What do we have? We have Justice League number 19. This was an amazing issue, but the reason why it's number 5 and not number 1, it was a very technical issue. This was very big for comic book fans. If you know what's going on with the Justice League, if you know what's going on with the Source Wall, it gives a lot of backstory. This was written by Scott Snyder. It's one of his best. I reread this 3 times this week. It is so good. It ends on such a sad, dark note that I'm not sure if the payoff's going to live up to the expectation, but I loved it. This was an amazing issue, but only if you know what's going on. So, number 5 for the week. All right, number 4 for the week. What do we have? We have Walking Dead number 189. So this is getting near the end of this story arc. We have this rebellion going on. Mercer's been released out of jail. Rick might be the new leader. Ironically, coming to fruition what Dwight said should happen and Rick didn't want to happen. This is just a great comic book. It seemed like the beginning of every month. We look forward to a great Walking Dead. This is always a great issue, always fun. So my number 4 for the week. My number 3 for the week, what do we have? We have a new one. We have Vader Dark Visions. Now, just so you know, in general, Marvel has been kicking ass, censor, with the Vader series. Darth Vader, the book, Vader's Castle. These have been great stories. A lot of great information about what's going on with Darth Vader and a good insight into the background. This is yet another one of those. You'll notice in a lot of these, very few thought bubbles, except for when it's other characters. You don't see Vader's thoughts because there are just action. It's a great story. Number 1, so check it out. Just to jump right in. So number 3 for the week. My number 2 for the week, it's a continuation of the Doomsday Clock series. This is number 9 of 12, written by Jeff Johns. This one, I'm going to be honest, it's not number 1 because it was a little complicated, a little convoluted at times, but here's what I liked about it. You have this amazing coalition of teams coming together to try to find Dr. Manhattan, who's on Mars. And when they do get there, what ends up happening is that they challenge him, but what I found it a little out of character. Now, whether or not that's part of the big story plan arc that Jeff Johns has planned and that this out-of-character performance is something that'll be explained later, I hope so. It might just be a small flaw in the writing, so that's why it's not my number 1 for the week. But it's a great one. But number 1 for the week, though, Batman number 66, Tom King. This is just going on better and better. Here we have yet another vision through Batman's mind. And the thing is, people are saying that this might be redundant, but it isn't, because each one deals with a different aspect of his psyche. This one goes deep, and now we finally get Catwoman to have to come to some kind of realization that what she did to Bruce really did hurt him. One of my favorite lines, I'm going to quote this, is, "If what you're doing is to make him stronger, then why the hell is he so damn weak?" It makes Catwoman think about what's happening. This could be a turning point issue. Great, great writing. I loved it. #1 for the week. All right. So now, classic comic review for the week. We have a book that is a continuation of the Batman books I've been doing, because I really believe that people need to know what the great Batman graphic novels are, because there's so many out there. Some are better than others. I'll give you an example. Kevin Smith, Cacophony, he's a great movie director. That was not a great first book of his. I wouldn't recommend that for people to read Batman. But what I do recommend is, for this week, A Lonely Place of Dying. This is a continuation of the Death of Robin series. And in this particular one, we have the introduction and the birth of a new Robin in the form of Tim Drake. Jason Todd, of course, was previously killed by the Joker, and now we have a young 12-year-old Tim Drake who's going to come back and be the new Robin. This was a reaction to a lot of the fans who didn't like the fact that Robin was killed. Because remember, a very slim margin, a lot of people didn't want Robin gone. They believe Batman needs a Robin. So they did that. They brought a new Robin in, and it's got some great stories. First of all, when I read this back as an 8-year-old, this was my introduction to the Teen Titans. And look, there's Cyborg, Starfire, very classic drawn Teen Titans. But at the same time, you also have this great Batman artwork. Nightwing and his amazingly popped up collar. This is a story that explains where we are today with the Batman universe. It's one of my absolute favorites, so I have to recommend it. All right, so next up, toy review. So what do I have for a toy review? Well, I have just one toy. It's simply this. This is my Captain Marvel. Now, it looks nice. It's a nice little pop. And I'm wondering, where did I get this? I got this at the Burbank AMC 16. Now, before I continue more about that, here's a quick clip about what we saw the day before at Captain Marvel Rocks. Take it.
And just seeing how she, the way she's scanning, the way that her head turns when she's about to do a barrel roll, all of those things just became really helpful, because then when you're on set and you're doing things like a dialogue-heavy scene where you're also pressing 5 million buttons, you kind of already have it in your head. You're not learning it all like in the moment.
Come on. Tables with our unity, and at a mall on a job or two. Wake up and smell the coffee. Just take it to it and pick you back up. We pretend that we're dead. We pretend that we're dead. And here on the races, we pretend that we're dead.
So as you can see, Captain Marvel Rocks was freaking amazing. Thank you, K-Rock. So after the Q&A and the Twitter and all that, which by the way, I was able to get these nice aviator shades, if you can see there, Captain Marvel. We also then saw the movie, and the movie is amazing. I would give it about a 9.2 out of 10. It is one of my, or you want wig score? All right, let's give it a 4.65 out of 5 wigs. And the reason why is because it's a great setup. It's a great standalone movie. It's not Infinity War. It's not like the massive payout that you're hoping for, because it has to build up. But it does have some great moments. Goose the Cat, the Flurkin is hilarious. Don't listen to the trolls, in my opinion. I loved it, but see for yourself. Tell me what you think. Comment down below. Let me know about the comments. So, in regards to Captain Marvel, I also want to show this. There's a couple of new comic books that came out. Captain Marvel and Meet the Skrulls. In case you don't know the storyline, which I'm not going to give too many spoilers out right now, it deals with the Kree-Skrull War from the 1970s, and what we have here basically is Captain Marvel in the role, well, it's the role created by Kelly Sue DeConnick, the very, very talented, amazing writer who kind of brought Carol Danvers into the role of Captain Marvel. Now, if you know anything about the Kree from what we've seen so far, we have a couple of famous, including Rodan the Accuser, so you know they're probably not going to be good guys. So expect a twist, as a twisty twist situation going on there. Great music, great nostalgia. I can't praise it enough. So check it out. Check the movie out. And again, thank you to K-Rock. Thank you to Disney. Thank you to Captain Marvel. It was a once-in-a-lifetime event, and I was so happy to be there. If you want to see the full link of the entire performance, check this out right here. And then this will take you to a longer video, which has the entire performances by Bush, as well as some extra pictures, which were cut out of the mini segment shown for this episode. So guys, that's what I got this week. I got my top 5 classic comics, my pop, my Captain Marvel. It's been an amazing week, so have a great one. I'll see you next week. Wig out.
We got